Everyone, it's Al from Boston. How are you? It is the 29th of November. It's about 1:44 in the Eastern Standard time frame, time block, whatever you want to call it. And I am making this video because I want you to learn some things. Some of you are going to get out of this squeeze, this AMC squeeze, with millions upon millions of dollars. And you may not have any real prior investing before. You just kind of caught wind of trades on for Wall Street bets or whatever. Well, that's all fine and dandy, but there's a good chance you might lose money. And I want to teach you how to do just my way of doing it, my way of picking stocks. And I focus primarily on biotech. But don't get scared. You don't need to have a biotech background. You just need to have a little bit of God-given common sense and some logical reasoning, right? The first thing I want to teach is this, right? The very first thing, biotech is one of those self-sustaining industries. It's not like gaming. It's not one of these industries where it's going to go down. Healthcare and biotech will always be alive and plentiful. Okay, there is no magic. As long as people get sick, you'll always have this industry, and you'll always learn how to make money. Me personally, I've made a nice sum of money, a vast fortune, in fact, from biotech for the last 11 years, 12 years almost, probably that much, enough to sustain myself and to just set myself up for life. And I want to show you how I do it, okay? So biotech stocks, let's talk about this. The first thing I look at is the C-level executives. And if they have a background in the Ivy League, in other words, the CIO, CFO, chief medical officers are all Ivy Leaguers, I give that a check mark. I find it that fellow Ivy Leaguers know what the hell's going on. And this isn't a takeaway from state school people. I just find that the highly successful companies tend to have Ivy League backgrounds, or C-level executives that have Ivy League backgrounds, okay? So Harvard, Yale, Columbia, Stanford, whatever. If they have that background in the Ivies, you're gonna have a good company that's structured, well-organized, well thought of, methodical, so on and so forth, okay? So that's the first thing I look at. Then I look at Yahoo Finance and I find out who the holders are. Who got in the beginning of this play? Who got in the beginning of this company in terms of Wall Street? Is it State Street? Is it JP Morgan? Is it one of the hedge funds? Is this company have the potential of being a long play for them? Or is this going to be a blue chip stock one day? Maybe they're going to find the definitive cure for cancer. And depending how good the research is, you can see by the number of shares that they hold. So if Vanguard owns 30 million shares of this company, believe me, you want to be in this company. This is going to be a long position that's going to make you a ton of money. Take a look at how many people are holding, who they are, and how many shares that they hold. That tells you a lot. The next thing I look for is patents, right? If they have patents pending during their IPO, or if they have clinical trials that have rendered through patents, in other words, they have patented an idea and it's currently in the FDA trial phase, like first, second, third, that's something that I would absolutely look into. And if that has like a couple of patents, maybe even for past drugs that they own that they're currently marketing. Let's say there was a private company that went public and they have 6 or 7 other patents. That's a check mark for me, okay? So patents is the next thing. The drugs itself, okay, this matters. Listen to me. What they're producing matters just as much as what they used to produce. In other words, the past drugs with the patents and the stuff that they're working on now, novelty is what you're looking for. In other words, if they have a new way to cure cancer, a new way to fight AIDS or antiviral or whatever, you want to jump in on that, all right? It's novelty you want. So good example, right? Tylenol. Let's say you have a headache, it's a migraine, and you take an Excedrin 3 or Tylenol or whatever, right? And it does X, Y, and Z, and it's time tested and it's good to go, right? Let's say they found something else. Let's say this drug secretes, you take it and your liver secretes an enzyme and a protein that basically takes your headache and puts it away. Boom, gone, right? So what do? You look at it and say, well, that's a different way of doing it. It's novelty, let's buy it. Let's buy the stock. And that's exactly what you do. So that's the next thing I look for. A check mark the kinds of drugs that they're dealing with, and also the disease that it's fighting. Oncology is always a winner. Antiviral is always a winner. winner. The new stuff, mRNA technology, gene therapies, always winners, right? Especially AI-driven ones. Good. That's the next one. IPO, initial public offering. We all know what that is. The day they go on sale on the market, who's bringing them in, who's the investment bank. You want to wait for that day. You want to buy in as soon as it opens pre-market, if you can get a pre-market, or on IPO days. It's usually between 10 and 11. They drop. Well, maybe it's 1 o'clock, and as soon as it's on sale, you buy it within like a minute after it goes up. And what I typically do is when the price is listed, I bid $1 over, so my order gets filled. Okay. Some companies choose to go direct. They don't bother with an IPO. They just want to get money in the door through investors, through OTC stocks. Great, whatever. They can go either OTC or they can go direct listing and sell it, for whatever price, $11, $12, and directly list the company. Absolutely get on that. Same principles apply. C-levels, who the holders of the patents, at what drugs, and if it's directly listed, you want to make sure that you jump in on that. Also, look at their FDA calendar. Oh, one last thing. Sometimes the direct listing folks and the IPO folks, they have shorts. And I'm sure you already know that some companies think they're overvalued and they'll buy shorts. They're not going to naked short like what's been happening with AMC or GME, but they will have shorts, and you should be expecting to see that. Unless it's a short play for you, it's an NNI type thing, and it's not a long, you can just keep an eye out for that. But that happens with IPO and direct listings. All right, FDA calendar. Third phase drugs are everything. You need to watch out for third phase drugs, are everything, right? Third phase drugs are ones that are just about to get approved, and usually their stock goes up X amount of dollars, depending on the drug and depending on the patents that it holds in XYZ, the stuff that we talked about, right? So when the FDA calendar says that there's going to be 3 drugs approved on XYZ day, what you want to do is you want to buy in advance. You want to have some shares on hand. That way, when it does pop and it does spike, you can exit after you get your gains, right? Now, I'm going to make the next video about this. 3 kinds of financial forms and statements, right? It should say statements. This is your income statement, your balance sheet, and your cash flow statement. And I'll go over that a little bit further in the next video. And I want you to learn that before I show you the actual meat and potatoes of this thing. Determine if it's an in and out play or if it's long. Remember, if it's a company that's debuting, that's got promise, and if it's revolutionary technology and they have an all-star staff, hey, maybe it's a long for you, right? Maybe it's a long-term position, but maybe you want to get in early enough and you want to wait till it arches over a period of days or 8 hours or whatever, and you want to exit your exit and then buy back in at a cheaper price. You can do that as well. I typically go for longs, but I have been known, I've made a substantial amount of money within the in and outs the same day, get in, get out, poof, goodbye. I do that an awful lot. So just a heads up on that. But determine what you want to do. If you're going to stay in, if you're going to go. If it's a long-term strategy for you and you want to, if you're a young guy, you want to wait till this company reaches $50, $60 one day, sure, great, wonderful. Then that's when you exit and you take your gains. And if it's cheap enough, of course, it makes perfect sense to you. But diversify your portfolio. Have more than one company that you're dealing with. Don't just blow your load. Forgive me for saying that. Don't blow your fortune on just what you're dealing with, your investment, your seed money on just one play. Have a plan and be diverse about it. So that's the first video. This is how I pick them out. Like I said, C-level executives, where the holders are, the patents, the actual drug itself, what it does, and the novelty behind it. If it's IPO, if it's a direct listing, FDA calendar, right? Fundamentals, I'll teach you that in the next video, and determining if it's an in or out or if it's a long. And these are all important. These are the things that I cover. It's a little checklist I have. And if it checks out, hey, that's a good investment in my book. And this works for me. I have very little experience in biotech. Actually, that's a lie. I've got, now that I have an extensive amount of experience now. When I started, I didn't. Now I do, because I've been reading and I've been watching YouTube films. Understand how the FDA process works. Watch YouTube videos and how the federal government approves treatments for drugs and how people develop drugs. Understand that. It's not going to take you long. These videos are quick, right? So you can watch those and get a good understanding. And eventually, through enough experience and watching videos and just exploring through curiosity, you'll have nice portfolio filled with biotech stocks after the squeeze, which you can diversify your portfolio with. Hey, this is Al from Boston. Say hi to your mother for me, all right? And I hope you enjoyed the video. Talk to you soon. Bye.